Hello guys, welcome back. So we have finished Radix sort implementation in the previous video. So in this lecture, let's quickly discuss about the time and space complexity of the Radix sort. As you can see in my screen already. Okay. So in the best, average and worst case, the time complexity of the Radix sort is big O of nk, right? Where n stands for the size of the input, or in our case, it's length of the array, right? And k is the number of digits, because if you notice in radix sort we iterate through the array only based on the number of digits, right? If you remember from the previous video, I guess, here we were checking which number have the most digits, and then based on that only we were running the for loop, right? As you can see here. So that is why the number of digits we use to loop through the arrays, that's why we pick that in time complexity. Okay. So as you can see here, so k stands for number of digits, or in our case it's digit count, so total digit counts, right? Whichever number has the larger digits or most digits, we consider that number as the biggest number, and then we act accordingly, right? So this is about the time complexity. Now if we talk about space complexity, so space complexity is big O of n plus k. So this is because like in radix sort we use the numbers, right? So it depends upon the numbers how they get stored in the machine. Okay, so this is why we are this is basically on paper. That's why we use space complexity of radix sort as O of n plus k. So we consider the size of the input as well as the size of the digits, the numbers, right? Because those numbers we use, or not we, algorithms used to store in the machine. The computer stores those numbers in the machine, right? Or in simple words you can say they occupy some space in our machine, in our computer. Okay, so that is why the space complexity of the radix sort is O of n plus k. Okay, so there is we can say in past days there was a lot of controversy between the comparison sorts and the radix sort. People used to say radix sort is not, it's not actually that much efficient as it claims to be in comparison to the comparison sorts. These two are almost same in terms of performance, because in comparison sorts the best and average case I think is big O of I think n log n. Okay, and here if you pass in radix sort, if you pass all the distinct numbers, so let's say we have an array which have all the distinct numbers, it doesn't have any similar number, right? All the numbers are distinct, then it is going to occupy some space in the memory. So the space complexity of that is going to be, or complexity of that is going to be log n. Okay, so if we compare it with the current space or time complexity, right now we have O of nk, where k we are considering as the size of the number or digits. Okay, so if all the numbers are distinct, then k will become log n, right? So altogether it's gonna become something like this: big O of n log n, log n. Okay, so people used to say this is similar as the comparison sorts. Okay, I also don't know what's the truth behind it, what's the exact reason, but on paper the time complexity and space complexity of radix sort is O of nk. Okay, and space complexity of O of n plus k. So you don't have to confuse yourself. In case if you want to dive into detail about this particular thing, then you can go and search radix sort Wikipedia for sure. You will get into this particular thing and you can read about this article if you have enough time to read about it. Okay, if you are curious to basically learn more about the controversies or those things which I just discussed in this video, okay, in past few minutes. So here as you can see, here's somewhere it must be mentioned. Let me quickly check, or otherwise you can search radix sort Wikipedia and then you will land into this article. Anyways, you can check that by your own, that's not a big deal. So here as you can see they have mentioned something here. So it is something like O of log n, some sort of stuff. So if you have time then you can read about this article. It is insightful, but I would say it is gonna make confuse you at the end, right? So what you should keep in mind, the time complexity of radix sort is O of nk and space complexity is O of n plus k, where n is the size of the input, or we can say length of the array. K is the number of digits. Okay, as simple as that, because if you dive into more information you will get more confused. Okay, so but still, if you are interested, then you can jump into this radix sort Wikipedia article and you can learn about it, right? So yeah, this is it for today's video. So from tomorrow's video, or we can say from the next video onwards, we will start learning about data structures in detail. So you guys have already made it so far. Now it's time to study about data structures. Okay, so this is it for today. See you in the next one.